Imagine a habit so simple, so everyday, that it barely takes any effort and yet can make the difference between waking up with dangerous blood pressure or opening your eyes with calm, energy, and balance. This habit doesn't come in an expensive pill or a complicated treatment. It's something you probably already have in your kitchen: a simple tablespoon of olive oil before bed. For years, many older adults have lived with the worry of waking up with high blood pressure. It's no coincidence. Science has shown that in the early morning hours, blood pressure naturally tends to rise, and that increase, for those who already have hypertension or who are past 60, can become a serious threat, from dizziness and falls to risks of heart attack or stroke. I remember Don Manuel, a 78-year-old man who frequently visited his doctor because every morning his blood pressure would spike. He had tried medicines, exercise routines, even dietary changes. But the surprise came when his doctor recommended something that seemed too simple to be real: taking a tablespoon of olive oil before going to bed. At first, he hesitated. How could something so ordinary have a real impact? But he decided to try it. Within a few weeks, he not only noticed that his morning numbers were more stable, he also began to sleep better and feel more energetic during the day. And here is where I want to pause. What you're going to hear today is not a homegrown myth or a magazine tip fad. It's a habit backed by scientific evidence. Studies on the Mediterranean diet and the action of healthy fatty acids have shown that olive oil has unique properties to protect the heart, relax blood vessels, and regulate blood pressure. But it's not enough to say it works. It's necessary to understand why, how to apply it correctly, and above all, what precautions you should take before adopting it into your routine. In the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly what happens in your body when you take olive oil before sleeping, why nighttime is the key moment, what the most surprising benefits are that science has already confirmed, and what mistakes you must avoid so you don't turn a remedy into a problem. So stay with me until the end, because by the time this video finishes, you'll have clarity on how such a small gesture can become a powerful ally for your health. And before we start, I want to get to know you. Tell me in the comments, how old are you and where are you watching from? The problem of morning blood pressure. Most people don't know it, but the most delicate moment for cardiovascular health doesn't happen in the afternoon or at night. It happens right upon waking. When you open your eyes and the body starts to activate after rest, blood pressure naturally tends to rise. This phenomenon is called the morning surge of blood pressure. Why does it happen? During the night, the body enters a state of rest. The heart beats more slowly, the blood vessels relax, and blood pressure drops. But at dawn, the body receives a biological signal. It's time to get going. The brain releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which act like an internal alarm. These hormones prepare the body to start the day, but they also cause blood pressure to rise sharply within a few hours. For a young, healthy person, this increase usually goes unnoticed. However, in older adults, and especially in those already living with hypertension, that sudden jump in the numbers can become a trigger for serious health problems. The heart suddenly works harder. The arteries, which become less elastic with age, must withstand additional pressure, and that extra strain can set off complications. Doctors are very clear about it. The morning blood pressure surge is linked to a higher risk of heart attacks, strokes, and hypertensive crises. It's no coincidence that many cardiovascular emergencies occur in the early morning. Even in those who don't reach those extremes, this rise can show up as dizziness when getting out of bed, headaches, or a feeling of instability. And in older people, a dizzy spell can be the start of a fall with serious consequences. Let me tell you the story of Don Ernesto, a 78-year-old man. He had been controlling his blood pressure with medication for years and thought he had it under control. But every morning when he stood up, he felt a buzzing in his ears and his vision blurred. Several times he was close to falling. One day, after a checkup, the doctor explained that his nighttime values were acceptable, but that at dawn, he experienced dangerous surges that doubled his risk of a cardiac event. Don Ernesto was surprised. No one had told him that morning could be the most dangerous time of the day for his heart. Cases like Don Ernesto's are repeated daily around the world. Millions of older adults believe they're fine because they take their medicines, but they don't realize that the body hides this silent trap every dawn. And this is where the importance of habits comes in. What you do before sleeping can make the difference in how your heart and arteries react upon waking. If you identified with this description, pay close attention to what comes next. Today you'll discover why a gesture as simple as taking a tablespoon of olive oil at night can help your body better face that morning blood pressure surge. But first, I want to ask you something very simple. Write the word morning in the comments if you too have noticed your blood pressure changes upon waking. Olive oil as natural medicine. If there's a food that has accompanied humanity for thousands of years, and that science now confirms is one of the healthiest, it's olive oil. From ancient Greece to modern tables in Spain and Italy, olive oil has been more than a simple ingredient. It has been a symbol of health, longevity, and vitality. Mediterranean peoples knew it for centuries. They didn't have clinical trials, but they did observe how those who included olive oil in their diet lived longer and with fewer heart diseases. In Greece, elders used to call the olive tree the tree of life because every part served a purpose: the wood for warmth, the leaves for medicinal infusions, and its oil as a universal remedy. In Spain and Italy, entire generations grew up with the custom of dipping bread in olive oil or taking a tablespoon on an empty stomach to cleanse the body. Without knowing it, they were building a tradition of health that today inspires doctors around the world. What makes this oil so special compared to others? The answer lies in its composition. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in monounsaturated fatty acids, known for protecting the heart and improving the cholesterol profile. These fats help reduce bad cholesterol, called LDL, and increase good cholesterol, known as HDL. But not only that, it also contains natural antioxidants and polyphenols, substances that fight inflammation, protect the arteries, and slow cellular aging. It's as if every drop of olive oil were a shield against the wear and tear of time. Modern science has confirmed what tradition already intuited. Numerous studies have shown that those who follow a diet rich in olive oil have lower risks of hypertension, fewer cardiovascular problems, and a longer, more active life. Even the World Health Organization recognizes olive oil as one of the healthiest fats on the planet. Let me tell you the story of Doña Carmen, an 85-year-old woman who lived in a small town in Andalusia. Every night before going to bed, she poured a tablespoon of olive oil into a small cup. She said it was her natural medicine. She had done it since she was young because her mother did it too. Over the years, her neighbors saw her remain strong, walk upright, and keep an enviable memory. When someone asked her what her secret was, she would smile and say, "A spoonful of liquid gold before bed." And although doctors could explain it was the antioxidants, the polyphenols, and the fatty acids that kept her in good shape, for her it was simply an inherited habit she never abandoned. Olive oil is not magic nor a miraculous remedy, but it is one of the most powerful tools within our reach to protect health at any age. The surprising thing is that, used at the right time, it can become a specific ally against morning blood pressure, the silent enemy we spoke of earlier. What happens in your body? When you take it at night, olive oil does not act immediately like a pill that lowers blood pressure in minutes. Its power lies in how it interacts with your body slowly and steadily. When you take it before sleeping, it is absorbed gradually in the digestive system. That prolonged absorption allows monounsaturated fatty acids and polyphenols to circulate in the blood for hours while the body rests. In this way, by morning, blood vessels are already more relaxed and less prone to a sudden rise in pressure. Polyphenols, which are powerful antioxidants, have a direct anti-inflammatory effect on the arterial walls. Think of arteries like water pipes that, over the years, become stiffer. Olive oil acts like a natural lubricant. It softens, makes them more flexible, and helps blood flow with less resistance. Thus, when the heart receives the signal to speed up in the early hours of the day, the system is prepared and blood pressure doesn't spike with the same force. The difference between taking it in the morning or at night is important. When you take it in the morning, its effect is indeed beneficial, but it takes several hours to show because the body is busy digesting and using energy to start the day. In contrast, if you consume it before bed, the body takes advantage of nighttime rest to process it without interruptions, so the benefits are ready precisely when you need them most, upon waking. It's as if olive oil worked in silence while you sleep to protect you at the most dangerous hour for your blood pressure. To illustrate this, let's think of two fictional patients. Don Rafael, 74, began taking a tablespoon of olive oil in the morning with his breakfast. Although his digestion improved and he noticed some benefits in his cholesterol levels, his morning pressure readings still showed concerning spikes. Doña Teresa, 77, decided to take the same amount right before going to bed. After a few weeks, she noticed her mornings were different. She no longer woke with headaches or felt that dizziness upon standing. Her doctor confirmed that her morning readings had dropped significantly. This comparison shows something key. It's not only what you consume, but also when. The nighttime timing turns olive oil into a kind of nocturnal protector that prepares your cardiovascular system to face the challenge of the next morning. And best of all, it doesn't require major changes or expenses, just the consistency of maintaining the habit. Benefit 1. Blood pressure control. One of the most studied benefits of extra virgin olive oil is its direct impact on blood pressure. Science clearly supports it. People who consume it frequently show less arterial stiffness and, consequently, more stable pressure, especially in the early morning hours. Arteries, as the years pass, become less flexible. That loss of elasticity makes the heart pump harder to move blood, raising pressure. Here's where olive oil's compounds come into play. Monounsaturated fatty acids help reduce inflammation and improve the elasticity of blood vessels. At the same time, polyphenols act as protectors that combat oxidative damage and promote better circulation. Studies conducted in different Mediterranean countries have shown that including olive oil in the daily diet can reduce systolic blood pressure, the highest number in a reading, in people over 60. It's not a drastic change from one day to the next, but a gradual, steady process. And when consumption happens at night, the benefits become noticeable at the most critical moment, upon waking. Let me tell you the story of Don Alberto, a 75-year-old man who had been taking medication to control his hypertension for over a decade. Despite that, his mornings remained a problem. When he got up, his pressure often exceeded 150 millimeters of mercury, a dangerous number for his age. His doctor recommended complementing his treatment with a simple habit, taking a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil before bed. Though skeptical at first, Don Alberto decided to try it. He kept the habit every night without missing a single one. After 2 months, he began to notice changes. He woke with less dizziness and more energy. When he measured his blood pressure in the morning, the numbers had dropped to 135, a much safer value for someone his age. His doctor couldn't attribute all the improvement to the medicines, since the doses were the same. The only change had been that nighttime tablespoon of olive oil. This example shows something fundamental. The combination of science and simple habits can make the difference. It's not about replacing medical treatments, but about enhancing their effects with natural allies that reinforce the cardiovascular system. Olive oil, with its ability to relax blood vessels and reduce arterial stiffness, is one of those allies. And here comes an important reflection. Hypertension is known as the silent enemy because it rarely gives clear symptoms before causing serious damage. That's why any preventive measure that helps keep it under control deserves our attention. A gesture as simple, economical, and accessible as a tablespoon of olive oil at night can be an invisible shield that protects you upon waking. If you too have dealt with hypertension problems or know someone who suffers from them, I want to ask you something very simple. Comment the word pressure below, so we know how many of us share this struggle and this interest in improving health. Benefit 2. Better sleep. Sleeping well is not just a pleasure, it's a vital necessity. Quality sleep allows the heart to rest, blood pressure to stabilize, and the body to repair the day's wear. However, with age, falling asleep becomes more difficult. Many older people wake up several times a night, take a long time to fall back asleep, or simply feel their rest isn't restorative. Here's where olive oil offers an unexpected benefit. Though we usually associate it only with cooking, this food has a direct link to the natural production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Melatonin regulates our sleep cycles, telling the body when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake. The antioxidants and polyphenols in olive oil help stimulate better melatonin release, which helps sleep be deeper and more continuous. Quality rest has a direct effect on blood pressure. When we sleep well, levels of cortisol and adrenaline, the hormones that raise blood pressure, decrease. Conversely, when sleep is interrupted or shallow, the body stays on alert, constantly elevating pressure. In other words, sleeping poorly can be a silent enemy of cardiovascular health, while sleeping deeply acts like a natural medicine to stabilize it. Let me share the story of Doña Mercedes, a 70-year-old woman who had battled insomnia for more than a decade. She went to bed at 10 at night, but could toss and turn until 1 in the morning. When she finally managed to sleep, she woke several times and felt exhausted the next day. Her doctor had suggested sleeping pills, but she feared becoming dependent on them. One day, reading about the Mediterranean diet, she discovered the custom of taking a tablespoon of olive oil before bed. She decided to try it, without great expectations. The first nights she noticed slight changes. She took less time to fall asleep and woke less frequently. After several weeks, the difference was clear. She slept through the night, woke with energy, and, most importantly, her morning blood pressure began to stabilize. Doña Mercedes discovered that deep rest, supported by that simple nighttime habit, was key to keeping her heart calmer at the start of the day. Doña Mercedes's case is not unique. Many investigations have linked better sleep quality with healthier blood pressure numbers. And while olive oil does not replace proper sleep hygiene, such as avoiding screens before bed or keeping regular schedules, it can be that extra nudge the body needs to find balance. So it's not only about protecting your arteries, it's also about giving yourself peaceful nights and calmer mornings. And it all begins with a spoonful of liquid gold before closing your eyes. Benefit 3. Heart protection. The heart is a motor that never rests. It beats day and night without interruption, and over the years it accumulates wear. One of the most serious threats to its function is cholesterol imbalance. When LDL cholesterol, known as bad cholesterol, builds up in excess, it adheres to artery walls and forms plaques that harden and narrow them. This process, called atherosclerosis, forces the heart to work harder and increases the risk of heart attacks and circulation problems. Extra virgin olive oil plays a key role here. Various studies have shown that regular consumption helps reduce LDL cholesterol levels while raising HDL cholesterol, known as good cholesterol. HDL acts like a natural cleaner for the blood, carrying harmful deposits to the liver so the body can eliminate them. In other words, while one type of cholesterol clogs, the other cleans, and olive oil tips the balance toward the protective side. Another important aspect is its effect on heart rhythm. It has been observed that people who include olive oil in their diet have a lower risk of arrhythmias, those changes in heartbeat that can be dangerous in older adults. The antioxidants and polyphenols in the oil help stabilize the heart's electrical activity, reducing the chance of irregular beats. To understand it better, let's think of a comparison. In a fictional study, 2 groups of older adults followed different diets. The first group followed a Mediterranean pattern, rich in olive oil, fruits, vegetables, and fish. The second group followed a more Western diet, loaded with saturated fats, processed meats, and sugars. After several years, the differences were evident. The Mediterranean group showed cleaner arteries, healthier cholesterol numbers, and fewer cardiac episodes. The other group, by contrast, racked up more hospital visits, more medication, and more complications. What seemed like a simple condiment on the table turned out to be a powerful shield for the heart, and by taking it at night, this protective effect is reinforced because it acts while the body rests, precisely when the heart should work under less pressure. Benefit 4. Care of the blood vessels. Blood vessels are like roads through which life circulates. But with age, those roads become narrower and stiffer. That arterial stiffness is one of the main factors that elevate blood pressure and make the heart pump harder. Olive oil, thanks to its polyphenols, has the ability to relax arteries and give them back some of their flexibility. When polyphenols enter the bloodstream, they act by reducing inflammation and promoting the production of nitric oxide, a substance that helps vessels dilate. This means blood flows more easily, pressure drops, and the heart suffers less. In older adults, where arterial stiffness is common, this effect is especially valuable. Studies have shown that those who frequently consume olive oil present less vascular stiffness compared to those who don't. It's not an immediate change, but an accumulative process. Each night you take your tablespoon, you're helping your arteries stay more elastic and less vulnerable to pressure spikes. The story of Don Julian, an 81-year-old man, is a good example. For years he felt that when he walked, he tired quickly. His legs became heavy, and he had to stop to rest every few minutes. After incorporating the habit of taking olive oil before bed, he noticed that little by little he could walk longer without getting exhausted. It wasn't a sudden miracle, but a gradual improvement. His arteries, more relaxed, allowed better circulation, and that was reflected in his daily energy. Caring for the blood vessels is fundamental to maintaining vitality. When arteries are healthy, the heart beats with less effort, organs receive better oxygen, and the whole body feels lighter. And the best part is, you don't need a complicated treatment to encourage this. A tablespoon of olive oil each night is enough, a simple gesture with a profound impact. Precautions and common mistakes. Olive oil has great benefits, but to make the most of them, it's essential to avoid certain mistakes. Not all olive oils are the same. The one that truly preserves all its properties is extra virgin, obtained by first cold pressing and without chemical processes. This is where we find the highest concentration of polyphenols and antioxidants. By contrast, refined or low-quality oils lose much of their nutrients and become mere fats that no longer offer the same cardiovascular protection. Another key point is the right amount. A single tablespoon is enough to obtain the benefits we've mentioned. Some people think more is better and make the mistake of taking 2 or 3 tablespoons in hopes of speeding up results. However, olive oil is still a fat, and excess can bring digestive issues, weight gain, or even intestinal discomfort. Moderation is the key. There are also those who mix it with low-quality oils or who buy adulterated versions. The market is full of products sold as olive oil that actually contain blends with cheaper vegetable fats. These products not only lack protective properties, they can be harmful in the long run. That's why it's essential to choose a trustworthy oil, preferably with origin certifications and clearly labeled as extra virgin. One more common mistake is thinking that because it's natural, you can stop medical treatment. Olive oil is a complement, not a substitute for prescribed medications. Its function is to reinforce and enhance heart care, never to replace the doctor's instructions. In summary, the benefit isn't in any oil or any amount, but in the right type, the proper dose, and consistency. And remember, small mistakes can make a big difference in the results. If you agree that quality and moderation are essential, I want you to write the word CARE in the comments. That way I'll know you understood that this habit, though powerful, requires attention and responsibility. Who should be more careful? Although olive oil is safe for most people, there are certain cases where special caution is needed. The first is those with gallbladder problems. Olive oil stimulates bile production, which in people with gallstones can trigger colic or intense discomfort. In these cases, it's essential to talk to a doctor before adopting this habit. The second group is those with liver diseases. The liver's job is to process fats, and although olive oil is a healthy fat, it can represent an added load for a weakened liver. Another important case is people taking anticoagulant medication. Olive oil's compounds can potentiate the effects of this type of drug, increasing the risk of bleeding. This doesn't mean they can't consume it, but they should do so under medical supervision. It's also not recommended for those suffering from severe digestive problems without first consulting a specialist, since its lubricating effect could aggravate certain conditions. The general rule is clear. If you're healthy and have no specific diagnoses, a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil before bed will be a safe ally. But if you have a chronic illness, take multiple medications, or have delicate medical history, the wisest thing is to check with your doctor before incorporating this habit. Remember, natural also requires caution. Olive oil is a great ally, but its use must be adapted to each person's reality. The true secret of health lies in combining popular wisdom with professional guidance. Comparison with other nighttime remedies. When we talk about healthy habits before bed, many people think of herbal infusions, a glass of warm milk, or even a teaspoon of honey. These remedies have value, but the difference with olive oil is that it not only helps with sleep, it acts directly at the cardiovascular level. Infusions like chamomile or valerian can relax and promote rest. Honey, with its natural sweetness, also helps you fall asleep because it slightly raises insulin and facilitates the production of serotonin, a precursor to melatonin. Warm milk, for its part, contains tryptophan, an amino acid that promotes calm. All are valid allies for better sleep, but they focus on the mind and the nervous system. Olive oil goes a step further. Its power isn't limited to helping you sleep. It works silently in your arteries and heart. While you sleep, polyphenols relax blood vessels, fatty acids reduce inflammation, and circulation becomes smoother. Thus, upon waking, you not only have rested, but your cardiovascular system has been protected through the night. In other words, honey and warm milk help close your eyes, but olive oil helps your heart wake stronger. The benefits of olive oil are best understood when we hear close-to-home experiences. Don Ricardo, a 72-year-old man with hypertension, said, "Since I've been taking it, I don't wake up dizzy anymore. Before, getting up was a struggle. Now, I feel more stable." Doña Elena, 70, had suffered insomnia for more than a decade. "I never thought something so simple could help me. I take my spoonful every night and sleep like I haven't in years." And there's also the story of Don Mateo, 83, who suffered stiffness in his legs. "Before, I walked a few blocks and had to stop. Now my legs feel lighter. It's not that I'm young again, but I have more energy." These micro-stories reflect the same thing: consistency in a small gesture that brings big results. It's not magic, it's science applied in the simplest way possible. Throughout this topic, some questions tend to repeat, so let's resolve the most common. Does any olive oil work? No. Only extra virgin olive oil preserves all the polyphenols and antioxidants that bring the benefits. Can I mix it with water or milk? It's recommended to take it on its own for better absorption, but if the flavor is too intense, it can be combined with a bit of water or even a light infusion. Can it be taken with medications? In most cases, there's no problem, but if you use anticoagulants or liver medications, you should consult your doctor. Is it safe for diabetics? Yes. Olive oil can even help improve insulin sensitivity. However, everyone is different, and it's always a good idea to confirm with a specialist. We have walked together through a habit as simple as it is powerful: a tablespoon of olive oil before bed. We've seen how it can help you control blood pressure, improve sleep quality, protect your heart, and keep your blood vessels more flexible. You also learned about real testimonials, important precautions, and answers to the most common questions. The message is clear. You don't need big changes or costly treatments to take a step toward a healthier life. Sometimes, the simplest is the most effective. This small nighttime gesture can add years of life and, above all, quality to your mornings. Remember that the secret lies in consistency and in choosing a quality oil. It doesn't replace medical care, but it can become a daily ally for your health. Before I say goodbye, I want to ask you something very simple. Tell me in the comments if you're going to try this tip and how you plan to incorporate it into your routine. And if this content was useful to you, subscribe and share this video so more people can discover this valuable habit. The heart doesn't understand ages, but it does understand care. Start tonight with your spoonful of liquid gold and let it work in silence so that tomorrow you wake with more strength, more energy, and more life.